My name is Judson from PNTA in Seattle, Washington. Let's check out the audio system here at Sheridan High School's theater. The first thing you're going to do is make sure that the system is on. If the green light is on, then the system is on. If the green light is off, then it's off. And when you push this start and stop button, it takes about a minute, minute and a half to cycle all the equipment on and off throughout the building. And it'll be blinking during that whole sequence process. So if this is off, just tap that on to get started. By default, you don't really have to do anything on this panel because it's meant to just grab and go. So if you have authorization, you open this panel up, grab one of the wireless microphones out, there's two of them, and you flick the little switch on right there. It's just a little up or down switch that turns it on. And they're labeled mic 1, mic 2, and you can grab it and they just start working. It's a good idea to make sure that you turn the mic all the way off before you return it to the charging cradle. And check this out. This little cradle keeps the wireless mics charged, so their batteries are always ready to go the next time somebody goes to grab it and use it. So we're gonna start right here with the cool little Yamaha touch panel. There's one of these located on stage and one located up in the control booth as well. By just tapping the home button, the screen lights up, and there's some options here. Mics, media, stage monitor, and presets. Mics simply does exactly what you think it does. You tap the button next to mics, and there's wireless mic 1 and wireless mic 2. If you want to adjust the volume on one of these mics, tap the button corresponding to that mic, and you can turn it down, and you can turn it up. You don't have to worry about turning them up too loud because we have the system pre-configured to not allow them to be too loud. If you want to back up and control the other one, it's a little back arrow, kind of like an Android phone, and it lets you get in there and control that one as well. If I hit back arrow one more time, or the other options, I can hit the home screen. I go back to my home screen. Hit the media button, and there's an aux in level and an extron level. Aux in refers to this little aux input right over here. You can plug in a stereo RCA cable like this one here, or you can plug in a 3.5 millimeter cable so that your mobile device can be used to put audio into the system. You plug this into the headphone jack of your favorite mobile device. Make sure that that this little knob is turned up here, and then also that this one here is turned up, which it usually should always be turned up. If you're looking for any kind of a video source, if you're playing something from a computer or DVD player somewhere that's hooked up to the system, all of that's coming through this Extron button. So you just simply turn this up and down so that you can hear your video at the appropriate levels. Going back out to the home screen again, we have a couple more buttons to look at. And one of those is stage monitor. Backstage in the back of house, in the dressing rooms and in the shop, we do have a bunch of speakers back there so that people backstage can hear what's going on in the house. So if you want to have the house mix louder, you turn this up or down. And relative to the house mix, you can also turn up and down the program mic that's hanging in the grid above the house. And lastly is this preset button. The preset button will take you to a passcode screen, and the passcode on this is a secret. But once you get there, it gives you an option. On demand is the system that we've been talking about so far. The other option that you have available is called booth control. When you tap booth control, it's going to do a whole bunch of different things, including turning equipment on or off. So when I go ahead and do that, you'll see that it's warning me that it's in booth control mode. Now I can still go and adjust the stage monitor just like when we're in the on-demand system. And now that booth control mode is active, then that means that this panel is no longer controlling the wireless mics. The same wireless mics and all the inputs that you have available and a whole bunch more are now all going to be controlled at the mixer upstairs. We'll take a look at that next. All right, we're up here in the control booth now. Let's take a look at how the booth control audio system works. We have a panel just like we have done on the stage. Has a lot of the same controls, and just to kind of show you how everything works, we put it back into the stage control mode so that we can go into presets, enter in a super secret password, go to booth control, and as soon as I hit this button, that mixer over there is going to turn on. Why don't we take a look at that? So this mixer will take a little bit of time to boot up, but not too much time. Allen & Heath SQ6. And right away you're presented with a login screen. Administrator, power user, or basic mix functions. And with that, you will just need to ask a supervisor or Sheridan High School representative for which login you get to use. I'm going to use this one and enter in a super secret password. And now this is where all of the same inputs that we had before all operate on this, as well as many more inputs that are available. Many layers with moving faders. If you wanted to use the video, you simply come up to the touch panel and push the turn on button, and then you wait. Alright, once this thing all fires up and the projector gets in place, now you simply select your source. As of right now, it's configured for DVD or Blu-ray player, Apple TV, HDMI up here in the booth, and an HDMI down in the orchestra pit. Pick whichever one you like, and your video should work as long as you've got a source hooked up to it. Okay, so right over here we have our assisted listening system for Sheridan High School's theater. You see it's got this really cool nifty little travel case. Just be careful before you pick it up and go somewhere, because these things are plugged in so they can charge everything inside the case. You open them up and you have a whole bunch of receivers. When you take it out of the case, it's going to already be turned on. And up above, we have all kinds of different types of hearing assisted devices. We've got the neck loops for people who have hearing aids or cochlear implants that are compatible. And there's also a bunch of ear speakers in here as well. When this is finished, you take it back and wipe everything down, put it back up here. You put the receiver back down in there and it starts charging and gets ready for the next show. So you want to make sure that with the Listen Assist that you have decent audio going in there. So it should be functional just taking them out of the box like we looked at before. But if you need to make any types of level adjustment, you can do so right here. This little green screen right down here, this is the Listen Assist system. And you can tell because it's labeled Listen right here. So there's this little mix level, this button right here, this knob. You can turn that up or down. If the signal's too strong, this little thing will be clipping into the red. You turn that down. If it's not quite strong enough and it's barely hitting the green, you can turn that up a little bit. But for the most part, you shouldn't have to mess with that, and keeping this knob kind of in a straight up position like it is should be functional almost all the time.